Hello everybody, good morning. It is Saturday morning, 9 AM, and I'm awake, as always. Before I continue, I'd like to say happy birthday to my subscriber, Kim, from Shelford. Happy birthday, thanks for reminding me. And also, my other subscriber has a daughter whose birthday is today. So this is for Colette's daughter. Happy birthday. Sorry I can't come around today. I've got to do and sort my life out so I can be a better YouTuber for everyone else. But enjoy your day, please, and forgive me for not coming. Anyway, so we have seen some funny stuff happen over the world, and I'm going to do a little bit of a background. Let's just get the Chrome up. Okay, let's choose the right one, this one, there we go. Here I am on top. So basically we have President Trump talking with Zelensky. Zelensky's on your left, and Trump's on this side. I'm terrible at this. Basically, we've got these two arguing, and basically it's not really a fair argument because Zelensky hasn't got a leg to stand on. Zelensky has taken 350 billion and more off America for this war. Doesn't seem to be very graceful or grateful or polite or have any manners or respect whatsoever. And in fact, he actually sent some of his campaigners over to campaign against President Trump, as did Starmer. And we're going to go through Starmer's little thing as well in a minute. But I think that this interaction is hilarious just to see how arrogant and like how far past being a good leader Zelensky's become. I mean, we all know about the situation in Ukraine, and if you don't, I'll give you a quick heads up. Basically, for the last 5 or 6, 10 years, Ukraine has been used for various experiments and things like that that wouldn't be allowed in any other country. And there's been a lot of money laundering going on there as well. And people have been suspecting that, that Biden and his son have been involved with, heavily involved with, defrauding the nation over gas contracts and things like that. And in fact, if you do know about that situation when Biden said that, the public prosecutor needs to be sacked by the end of the day, otherwise they won't get the $1 billion. And then, whatever he said, that's what happened. But anyway, there's a lot of fishy stuff going off in Ukraine, not to mention their shady tactics for recruitment, and not to mention the shady sort of racism that's just being perpetrated throughout their army. There's various SS divisions and Nazi divisions and white supremacist divisions that are flying all sorts of strange flags. And these are the people that you lot are sending your money to in England. So all of these woke organisations that are sending money over are just paying for Nazis to go and kill people. That's what you've been doing. In my opinion, allegedly. Don't take what I say as true. Go and do your own research. I am not a geopolitical news source. Do not take what I say as fact. This is purely for entertainment and kicks and giggles. So anyway, let's listen to this absolute plonker muppet, this puppet for the WEF, like Keir Starmer, trying to go against two logical and balanced men, real leaders like J.D. Vance and President Donald Trump. Let's give it a listen. This absolute clown can't even shut his mouth. Sounds familiar. Right, let's go back.
He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about?
He's an actor. The way that he speaks is as if he is not forcing his own citizens to go to war, as if he is not, allowing child trafficking. In fact, there's another thing that I forgot to mention. A lot of human sex trafficking occurs in and around Ukraine. There's been lots of reports about that as well. But anyway.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yeah.
The kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country. So, if you really care about your people, you wouldn't want to go to war with somebody who's got a significantly larger army and military might. Why would you go against them? They have Mark IV missiles that can't be stopped because they come from out of the atmosphere, and by the time they come down, they're going pretty fast.
But if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
Exactly. Look at him, look. The guy on the left is like a petulant child.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
Have you ever been to Ukraine to say what problems we have? No, because we are not Ukrainian. Sorry.
I have been to.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is.
You're forcing young men to go to war who do not want to fight in a war. It may happen in England as well, but they're literally.
You bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's
Be grateful, be lucky that people want to save your country, because there's many countries out there, many countries out there that haven't got this sort of protection from America. And it's only because they are, warring with Russia. I don't know the particular ins and outs of why they're doing this. I think it's most likely to do with the resources that Ukraine has, and America's contractors, the ones who do really run the government behind it, the military industrial complex behind the government, even behind Trump. There's people with big powers who can bring a lot of money into the country, and the conquering of Ukraine economically, or the rebuilding of Gaza and all these different places is just more, unfortunately, imperialism by America. But the alternative is what? Imperialism by somebody else, like Iran or China, and that would probably be a lot worse for the world.
start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
He's threatening. He's saying that if you let me die, then Russia's going to get you next. Typical bully. Typical bully, trying to put fear in everybody's hearts all the time, rather than addressing the issue calmly and logically and finding a solution that we all agree on, like they're saying a ceasefire or some sort of other method. People who only run on emotion and you have to make the decision based upon emotion right now. I don't know. If you love America, you would do this, or how dare you deny me? I'm upset. I've got to do this because I'm not feeling very well, so this is why I'm going to go and ruin my country. You've got to let me do it because I don't feel very well. These people that use emotional reasonings, even though it's quite understandable to have emotions and stuff like that, but when you're dealing with other people's lives as a consequence.
God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Exactly. Don't tell us what we should feel. That's what a lot of people do. Tell people how they should feel. Because that's the way they feel about it. And if you don't feel the same way about it, they instantly reject everything that comes out your mouth, as you'll see.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate.
He really does think that he's superior to Trump. He's trying to emulate the appearance of somebody who's humble, but in actual fact, he feels like he's the biggest man in the world, the strongest, biggest. He's got some really inflated ego.
What we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
Look at his face, look how he's talking to him, like he's a piece of shit.
will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed.
It's because he's friends with massive organised gangsters and crime. That's why this guy's talking like that, because anybody else he would be able to intimidate. Anybody in the whole world probably, other than the President of the United States, Donald Trump, would be intimidated by this man, because he's not talking about political problem. He's talking about, he's a warlord, basically. That's what he is. He is no better than anyone else out there doing horrendous crimes with an army, I believe. And it's a dictatorship, total dictatorship.
Allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position.
You're not in a good position, mate. Why are you acting like you've got the plan that's going to win? Your plan isn't working, bruv.
You don't have the cards right now.
Your plan isn't working. Your plan didn't work. The results of your planning has left you in the shit. So maybe you shouldn't be in control anymore, bruv. Maybe somebody else should take over until you get to see how things work properly by a proper president.
With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
But right now, you don't.
Very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
Look, he's trying to find any reason to invalidate everything he's saying. He's just an argumentative, insubordinate little runt, yeah? And it's not nothing about his height. I'm not trying to get into somebody's height. I'm just trying to say that his behaviour is not somebody of a statesman, I would say.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of
war.
millions of people.
You're
gambling with World War III.
See the passion in Trump. See the passion. He does care about these people that Zelensky is affecting. He does care about these mothers baking, you know, the soda bread or whatever they're doing. He does care about the people in the farms, the breadbasket of Europe. He does care about these people that are being manipulated and bullied by the gangsters and the corrupt elite and oligarchs that are running Ukraine right now. Ukraine, in my opinion, is probably worse for oligarchy than Russia right now.
What do you think
You're gambling
about?
with World War III. And what you...
Look at his attitude, look. His shoulders moving, he's got his muscles all flexed, trying to flex up. Like, it's like, bro, why are you sitting there like that? Like he's a bad boy, basically, like he's too bad. And then he ends up calling J.D. Vance a bitch in Ukrainian.
What you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
You sound like he's drunk.
No, one more drink. No, I do respect you. Now give me another drink.
Guy's off his head on fucking coke and everything. His eyes are fucking jet black, man. I can't even see his pupils.
You said thank you once this entire meeting? No.
A lot of times. I'm the president. This is how he must talk to his support, to his other people, rather than actually, you know. And no one's challenging his authority. They're just trying to speak to him as a leader, and he doesn't seem to understand that. He must be getting a lot of feedback that's probably like on the halfway fence, saying, you know, leave it, boss. And he's just biting people's heads off at home. But when it comes to President Trump and J.D. Vance, I think he's bit off more than he can chew. But he is a formidable character, this Zelensky. You can see that in person. He's got a lot of aggression. He's got a lot of fire inside of him. Passion for his country, and I've got to respect, you know, whatever he's doing for his country. If there are any Ukrainians watching, I don't want to disrespect your country or your war, or make light or make any jokes about your situation. But with a leader like this, it's very hard to see how it's going to go well. So I apologise, and of course, for anyone who's suffering any loss in Ukraine, my apologies. But this is purely for entertainment. This is not political. This is not ideological as such. This is just for me, just to give you my 2 pence.
In this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some...
That's what I mean. So people expect to be rewarded for being traitors nowadays, or not for being traitors, but for being, you know, for being enemies. Basically, he wants to be rewarded and treated as somebody who hasn't gone against them. If you've gone against somebody, okay, you cannot be considered a friend anymore. That's how it is, isn't it? It's as simple as that. And unless he says, you know, I'm sorry about that and this and that, and explains himself, but he's not. If he's not going to come down off his high horse and explain himself and, you know, apologise and point out where he's gone wrong and where he's going to fix these problems with President Trump, I don't see how he's going to get anything out of President Trump or work with President Trump in any sort of way that's going to benefit him anymore. Trying to embarrass President Trump in public, in front of other people and stuff. Wow. When you need Trump to survive, it's not a good idea.
Some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Trying to save your house, mate.
You think that
trying to save your
if you will speak very loudly about the war,
he's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
You've done a lot of talking. You've done too much talking.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war.
See, he's going for emotional. We're doing everything right. We're doing everything right by the woke handbook. We're just going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. Even if we're going to lose and everyone's going to die, we're going to fight because it's right. It's just so blindly cultish behaviour from this man. Just shows his lack of intelligence, his lack of depth, and lack of wisdom and experience in life. You think that you can just beat everyone by fighting them. It's not the way the world works. Nobody wants to be at war. Only idiots want to be at war. People with things to prove, or, you know, if you want to talk out of two different sides of your face, don't be surprised when people don't trust you. It's just the way that life is, isn't it?
We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't been
in this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted for your...
You voted. It's your own fault. It's your own fault. You accepted it. So we don't accept it. It's a good thing because it just sounds like an absolutely abusive sort of person, where it's like, no matter what you do for them, it's your own fault. If you're not happy with something, it's just everything's your fault. With Zelensky, you can tell by his whole attitude is about the flip reverse.
Your military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited me
if you didn't have our
you invited me to speak. You must give me the respect that I don't give you.
Military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard.
And without somebody who's capable on board, this thing would have never got started in the first place, and it would have just been the shithole that it always was, and it wouldn't have been able to defend itself against Russia whatsoever. Russia is a fucking massive world power when it comes to military things. I don't know what Zelensky was thinking, even messing with Russia, or whether Russia, I don't know what's going off here, but it seems that the way he's talking is as if he's going to win the war, when he's not going to win the war no matter what anybody does. Even America would struggle against a war against Russia, you know. So why is he bringing everyone into World War III when all we need to do is make friends and live and have a prosperous country next door to each other? Why are they warring? Russia started it first. Well, not really, because you allowed Russia's enemies in your house right next door, when Russia said, if you ever do that, that'll be war, no beef, but if you do that, that will be beef. That's beef then, isn't it, unfortunately? I do think they should all just get along, because this whole war thing is not going anywhere.
From Putin in 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media.
Exactly,
when
in the
you're
public,
wrong.
yeah.
We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think
know
it's
that you're
good
wrong.
for the
We
American
know that
people
you're
to see
wrong.
what's going on
I
over
understand,
there.
sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept
Face
this going so long. You have to be thankful.
You can't lie to
You don't
us.
have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers.
You can't take the
It would be a
truth.
damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President,
you
right.
tell us, I don't want to.
I've seen enough, I can't even watch this idiot anymore. It's beyond the pale, you know. It reminds me a lot of the asylum seekers burning and smashing in their own hotel rooms, or, you know, or just like, you know, just like children given a new park that vandalise it. It's just absolute stupidity, When you've got something good, when you've got America backing you, I don't know. When you've got the best backing you, I don't know why he's trying to run around and get everybody else to be involved in his war when he's got America, he's got Trump, the best American president has ever been. Why is he trying to work with Biden or all these other people that are just in no way comparison the caliber of leader or man that Trump is? But anyway, he's gonna have to find out, isn't he, this Zelensky, in the end.